When we talk about legendary trucks, it's easy to think of the models that dominated the roads in their time. But what about those giants that, after years of service, fade into oblivion? In this video, we'll tell you the story of the Mack M100SX, a giant that, although it disappeared from the spotlight decades ago, is about to make a comeback. Join us as we discover how this colossus, once the king of heavy machinery, is making a comeback to amaze the world once again. The origins of Mack trucks. To understand the impact of this truck in the world of heavy machinery, we first need to take a look at the history of the company behind its creation, Mack Trucks. Founded at the beginning of the 20th century by the enterprising John Michael Mack, the company initially focused on manufacturing buses under the Manhattan brand. It wasn't until later that they specialized in truck production and became pioneers in the design of cab-over-engine vehicles, which would mark a turning point in commercial vehicle design. Over the years, Mack not only improved its technology but also knew how to adapt to market demands. Its first major success was the AB series, which was soon followed by the AC series. Two models that made history, especially during World War II. These trucks were essential for both British and American forces, even serving in armored versions. After the war, the company continued to innovate and, as it established itself as a leader in truck manufacturing, it also focused on marketing its patents, which allowed other manufacturers to implement its advancements. Mack and the mining industry. Throughout its history, Mack trucks also paid special attention to the most demanding sectors, such as mining. It was for this sector that one of its most iconic lines was born, the M series. These dump trucks were designed to transport large bulk volumes, and their load capacity could range from 15 to 75 tons. But what really made the difference was that these models, thanks to their sturdiness, were adapted to tow even heavier loads by using a fifth wheel. Although Mack did not specialize directly in mining machinery, the durability and toughness of its vehicles allowed them to earn a place in this sector, with some units still in operation to this day, especially in heavy transport companies in places like Panama. This solid presence in the world of heavy loads further cemented Mack's reputation as a reliable and tough brand. The birth of the M100SX. While the M series models were already impressive for their size and capacity, Mack decided to take things a step further and launch the M100SX. This truck was truly something monumental. At 10 meters long and 4.1 meters tall, the M100SX became one of the largest trucks ever built. In its dump truck version, it could carry over 100 tons, and with a special trailer, it reached an astonishing weight of up to 400 tons. To achieve these incredible numbers, Mack equipped the M100SX with a Detroit diesel 11249 engine of nearly 30 liters. This engine, which was paired with a 6-speed Allison automatic transmission, was capable of generating 1,000 horsepower and nearly 3,900 Newton-meters of torque. Just to give you an idea, each of the 12 pistons in the engine had a displacement similar to the entire engine of a modern Honda Civic. That's how impressive this machine was. However, despite its remarkable capabilities, Only 3 units were built between 1960 and 1967, because at that time there simply weren't many projects or companies that needed trucks of such magnitude. In fact, the M100SX represented an excess of power for most of the market's needs. The journey of the surviving unit. Of the 3 units built, only one survived long enough to leave a clear trace of its history. This unit was sold to a company in New Jersey in 1970, where it was used in several private projects. Later, the M100SX was moved to Texas for transport work and, although its top speed was only 45 kilometers per hour, it managed to complete a long journey back to New Jersey in a trip that lasted about 2 weeks. During its last year of operation, it is believed that this unit was used with a special 8-axle trailer for work at Newark Airport in the state of New Jersey, carrying out expansion and maintenance tasks. However, after this period, the M100SX was gradually withdrawn from heavy-duty service and eventually abandoned. Despite this, the machine stood the test of time and, although its condition began to deteriorate, it managed to remain in relatively good shape. A second chance for the M100SX. Although large machines usually fade into history, forgotten in some corner of the world, the M100SX is the exception that proves the rule. Thanks to the work of the Mack Collection, an organization dedicated to the restoration and preservation of historic vehicles and machinery, this truck is about to get a second chance. For years, the organization tried to acquire the M100SX, which was parked near JFK Airport in New York. At one point, the owners considered scrapping it, but efforts to save it began as soon as the machine was on the verge of disappearing. Although it wasn't possible to recover the special trailer that was attached to this unit, the M100SX managed to escape its final fate. The restoration process was even documented by the YouTube channel Backyard Barn Finds, which shared the rescue of this industrial gem with the world. An icon of 20th century engineering. The resurgence of the Mack M100SX is not just a victory for truck and heavy machinery enthusiasts, but also for lovers of engineering. This truck not only represents one of the most impressive feats of its era in terms of power and design, but it is also part of the history of Mack, a brand that remains synonymous with reliability and strength. Restoring it and seeing it again as if it had just rolled out of the factory is, without a doubt, an event that will mark a milestone. Although the restoration work is still underway and there are many challenges ahead, the wait will be worth it. The Mack M100SX, in all its renewed glory, will be able to be admired by future generations, reminding everyone of the greatness of 20th century engineering. Advances in heavy truck technology since the era of the M100SX. Since the days of the Mack M100SX, heavy truck technology has advanced in astonishing ways, reflecting both progress in engineering and the growing demands for efficiency and sustainability. In the 1960s, the M100SX represented the pinnacle of power and toughness, with its 1,000-horsepower engine and a design that pushed the limits of load capacity. Today, Modern trucks have evolved to incorporate advanced technologies such as electronic engine control, anti-lock braking systems, and air suspension, which provide much greater comfort and safety. Engines have evolved from being massive internal combustion units to more efficient and less polluting systems, including hybrid and fully electric engines, like those developed by brands such as Tesla and Volvo. In addition, onboard connectivity and the use of smart sensors allow for continuous monitoring of operations, optimizing fuel consumption and reducing wear on parts. These advances not only improve efficiency, but also make modern trucks more environmentally friendly and safer on the roads. The legacy of Mack trucks in the contemporary world. Mack Trucks remains one of the most influential brands in the heavy truck industry, and its legacy continues to shape the direction of automotive engineering. Since its beginnings in the 20th century, Mack has been a pioneer in truck design, standing out for its reliability, toughness, and ability to adapt to market demands. Today, the brand continues to innovate with models that incorporate cutting-edge technologies, such as more fuel-efficient engines and driver assistance systems that enhance road safety. Mack has also made a strong commitment to sustainability, developing trucks that meet the strictest environmental regulations and seeking solutions such as natural gas and electric engines to reduce emissions. In addition, the brand remains a benchmark in demanding industrial sectors such as mining, construction, and heavy cargo transport. Mack's legacy lies not only in its vehicles, but also in its ability to stay at the forefront of technology without losing sight of the core values of durability, toughness, and performance that made it famous in the past.